Hi guys! Okay, so today's tutorial is going to be a no makeup look. And what I mean by that is we're going to try to go for a natural face look. Just something that will also let your skin breathe and doesn't look so much like you're wearing makeup. What I'm also going to show you in this video is how to create your own tinted moisturizer. I think it's best to create your own tinted moisturizer because like that you don't have to go out and buy a tinted moisturizer. You could just make it out of, your own products. In this case, I use a full coverage foundation to create my tinted moisturizer because of the fact that I don't like light coverage. I like a medium to full. So even though I am using a tinted moisturizer, I still create a medium coverage moisturizer that will still cover my imperfections on my skin. What I do in this video is that I combine my Biore moisturizer with my Revlon Color Stay, which you all know I love dearly. But sometimes it could be a bit too heavy and it's hard to work with on its own just by itself. I usually use a wet sponge to use it. So when I combine it with my moisturizer, it makes it easy to apply, and I could just use my hands for it, which is something that we all like to use. We like to cut time in our routine without having to use brushes to apply our foundation. So it's great to just use your hands sometimes. So even though I still have color in my eyes, it's very neutral. I only use bronzer. I don't use blush when I'm in a hurry. I do take a little bit more time when it comes to the eyes because I still want something with color in my face, not to just look one dimension. And also, the perfect way to set your makeup and still look natural is to set it with a translucent powder instead of a colored face powder. And that's basically it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye! So do you want to look like this or like to this? Okay guys, so sorry for the head wrap, but I'm in the process of getting ready. So, okay. So I've only cleansed and toned my face because I am going to mix my foundation with my moisturizer. Now, in order for you to get a medium to light coverage, I suggest you use a full coverage foundation for this, or just get a tinted moisturizer of your choice. But this just also saves money as well. So what I'm going to use, my combination, is my Biore Moisture Lotion with SPF 15 and my Revlon Color Stay combination / oily in the color Golden Caramel. So I'm going to use both of these, and this is actually quite a light moisturizer, which is why I use it. But before I apply it, I still need a barrier between my skin and my foundation, even though I am going to mix it with my moisturizer. Because the moisturizer sinks in pretty quick onto your skin, you want something to protect your pores from the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and prime. What I'm going to use is the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Primer, and this is the number 1, the one that kind of looks like the apricot color. The reason why I like this one is because it helps brighten up my skin a bit. So I'm just going to add some onto my fingers, about that much, and I'm just going to rub it and just pat it. Okay, so in order for me to prevent my concealer from creasing, I'm going to go ahead and use this Revlon Photo Ready Eye Primer and Brightener. And it's a new one that they came out with, and this is in number 3. So I'm just going to click it. Product comes out. Add some. Okay, so while I let my primer sink in, I like to do my brows in the meantime. But since I am in a hurry, I'm going to skip my brow pencil and I'm just going to go straight to my powder. And this is the e.l.f. eyebrow kit in the color medium. And this is just the way it looks. And I'm only going to use the powder version, the powder portion of this kit. I'm not going to go ahead and use the wax because I just think it's a little bit too dark. So I'm just going to take an angled brush like this and just fill in any of the gaps that I have in my brows. Okay, so now that my brows are somewhat filled in, I'm gonna go ahead and mix my moisturizer with my foundation. So I'm gonna shake up my foundation first. Then I'm gonna take onto my fingers my moisturizer. And I'm gonna take about that much of moisturizer. And since I want medium coverage, I want to take a little bit more of the foundation. See if you can see it. You can see it. Alright, so I'm just going to go ahead and mix them with my fingers. And this is absolutely the only time I use my fingers to apply my foundation. I hardly apply foundation with my fingers because I just think it's a little bit yucky. So I'm just going to go ahead and start patting it onto my skin first. Okay, so now that that is done, I'm going to move on to concealer, and the two concealers I'm going to use today are the CoverGirl Aqua Smoothers Concealer in the color medium. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it just looks like a lipstick, which makes things easier. And then I'm also going to use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer Eraser Dark Circles, and this is in the color Neutralizer, and this is what it looks like. It's got a more of a yellow tint, which is why I use it, and the CoverGirl has like a little bit of a pinkish tint. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the CoverGirl first. Now I'm gonna add the Instant Age Rewind just to kind of give it more of a brightening effect and cancel out that green undertone as well. Okay, so since we're going for a natural look, I'm gonna use my NYC Smooth Skin Loose Face Powder in translucent. So you just want to set your face with translucent powder because it just gives you more of that natural finish. And I'm gonna take my Equal Tools bronzer brush, tap into the cap. You don't want to add a lot of translucent powder because it can look a little bit cakey. Luckily for this translucent powder, it doesn't contain silica, so it won't look white. So I'm just going to go ahead and add it to my concealer first. On days like this, I don't usually use blush, I just use bronzer. So a couple of options that I switch between the days is my Wet n Wild Princess bronzer or my Max Equilibrium blush, which is kind of like a bronzy color as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my Wet n Wild one and just contour a bit. I'm going to use my e.l.f. powder brush and just contour yet also give a glow to my face. So for my eyes, what I've been doing is that I've only been using 3 products lately, and they're all from the drugstore, like from Walmart, Walgreens, Target, etc. So the first thing is by Hard Candy, and it's called Eye Def, and it's a metallic eyeshadow, and this is in the color Golden Earth. And these are absolutely amazing. You don't need primer with these. These are actually great for primer, as a primer or as a base for your eyeshadow. They stay on like forever, until you remove them, of course. So I use this, and then on top of this, I'm gonna use my Maybelline Eye Studio Trio in the neutral colors, and I use just the white color, the like a eggshell color for highlight, and then I use the middle color for the middle portion of my eyelid. And then to contour my crease, I use this Wet n Wild Color Icon eyeshadow in Nutty, and it's just a really nice soft brown color. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, so all that I did was just curl my eyelashes and apply a few coats of my Rimmel Sexy Curves mascara. And then what I did, instead of doing the usual cat eye liner, I used my Milani Liquify pencil in black, of course. And what I did was that I tight lined my upper lash line and I also added it on my bottom lash line. So that's it for the eyes. And for lips, before I started everything, I moisturized with my Rosebud Strawberry Lip Balm. And this is just the way it looks. I got this at Sephora, and it's an amazing lip balm. Then what I'm going to go ahead and do, what I've been using lately as well, and it's kind of neutral, it goes with everything, is my Revlon Lip Butter in Creamsicle, and it's just a really pretty peach type of color. And then on top of that, I'm going to use my Pure Minerals lip gloss in Pink Crush. So this is just the way it looks.